Like, if I pick up my device and I open up Instagram, and I've done this with a couple of my mates who are in their 30s, and I go, okay, just hit the search button, and what are the images that come up for you? Now, if I do that for mine, I'm going to get all of this art stuff that's going to come up because that is my world. Okay, and I'll just, so like it's all art stuff. I did this one with one of my mates who was in his 30s, and I said, show me that, because this is the algorithm you're getting.
Yeah.
And it was big busted women and fast cars and all of those things that he's getting. But he's still not wrestling with the same issues that our teenagers are wrestling with. And you said before about bots and things like that are popping up. What's happening in that space, just to give our parents an understanding?
So primary schoolers that I speak to, year 4, 5, and 6, they're getting gambling ads in their online spaces. If they go to free gaming websites, free streaming websites, they're going to get the pop-ups. It's like for adult dating websites, they're going to get pop-ups that are like, hi, I'm Sarah, I'm 3 Ks away, we can hook up tonight. Meet single mums in your area tonight. And they all lose it laughing. More the you 6, 7, 8s, like, but because they're like, oh, that's happening to me too. This kind of stuff. I heard one story. I was at a Catholic school up in Cairns, and one of the boys, I think year 8, year 9, and he said that he was in RE class on some Bible website and got like one of these pop-ups there. I was like, that's a new one, right? Like, that's a new one. So like, it is a Wild West out there. Like most young people, and this isn't because, and as much as parents, caregivers can hear this, like your kid is a beautiful human trying to do their best. And them seeing violent, sexual, racist content is not a reflection of them, and it's not a reflection of you as a parent. It's a reflection of billion-trillion-dollar industries that are filled with harmful content that have no regard for your children's well-being in their relationships. Like that is the world that they're in. There is so much racist content. I don't ask boys, have you seen any racist content? I say, have you seen any non-racist content on Instagram this week?
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's just bombarded with it. That is just the world that they're in. And it's a tragic reality. And there's, endless distractions, endless sexual content, just preying on their base instincts. And that's what I say to boys. And it's a bit clunky, but I say to them, like, boys, I happen to think there's more to you than like your base instincts. I say to them this, which is like, I think you're more than just being angry, horny, and hungry. Like, you have those feelings, but there's just more to you than that. And I don't like the fact that our culture and influencers and marketers, and advertisers, they speak to you as if that's all you are. Is a collection of Whopper and beer ads and busty women ads. Like that's it, Like, you might have desires. You're human. Hey, but there's so much more to you. What are your talents? What are your gifts? What are your character? What's your vision for your life? Like, what are we actually calling you to that's more than just your base instincts? And so, that's where, like, I hope listeners, and because the boys get it, like, I do this work because I hold men and boys in really high. And I think for too long, and probably 2, 3 generations, I feel like we've accepted lower and lower standards for men and boys in terms of their character and decency, and I want to challenge that. I'm like, like, you're a boy, you're going to make mistakes, you got testosterone, your brain's still developing. No one's expecting you to be perfect. I just don't know if we get anywhere by like really lowering the standards and not calling them higher and championing them and trying to encourage their potential.
I love that, the standards and calling them higher. I feel like sometimes in the roles that I've done in the past, we haven't held our young people to have any expectations, which means that they just do nothing, or they do, and they get away with whatever they want. Whereas if we hold them to a healthy expectation and a healthy standard, then sometimes they'll aim for it. I want to achieve this. I want to set the scene that you've set for me. And I think that ties into the word you said, vision, before. Sometimes I think we also get into that space where we don't have vision for our life. We don't have vision for our relationship. We don't have vision for the things that we're doing in the current moment. If there's no vision, or where there's lack of vision, people, there's the proverb that says, people perish or they wander aimlessly. How do we see that playing out in people's lives, our young people's lives, through devices? How is that affecting their mental health? If they're not feeling hope, they're not feeling direction, they're not feeling vision.
I can somewhat relate to that in the sense that I see young people, and as long as they've got one thing that makes them come out, one young lady was just BMX biking. This week I had a group of young pups in year 7, it was dirt bikes. And even though we didn't talk anything about dirt bikes, they come up to me after the session to talk about it, because that was enough for them to have some skin in the game, to be alive, to want good, to be a good mate. Like, they cared about something. And Australian culture, we've got this overarching kind of chill apathy. And now the young pups, they call it nonchalant. And as I say to them, with all due respect to any true Aussie patriots, Aussie men don't need to be any more nonchalant. It's not something we lack for. We actually need to take on a bit more responsibility. We need to care more. We need to show up for the things that matter. Be chill about stuff that doesn't matter. But for the stuff that does, like who you are, like your families, like your communities, like your vision for your life, like that matters. You should probably think about that. Maybe not every day or every moment, but like we should take stock occasionally and think about the things that matter.
This was recorded as part of Table Talk on Sonshine. If you want to catch up with the full episode of this, go to sonshine.com.au and look up Table Talk. You'll be able to find it there. Can I highly recommend you go and get the Sonshine app, put it on your phone. You can listen to us live anywhere, broadcasting hope across the world. If you want to listen to our long form podcast, go to your favourite streaming service. You'll find it there, or go to the Sonshine app, download it. You'll get it all there. You're with Doug, you're on Sonshine.